Hey YouTube, JGreen302. I'm back. You might notice the background looks a little different. Well, that's because I went and bought a house. Been kind of busy, haven't had time to make videos. Got a call from a text from a fellow YouTuber, YouTube viewer, who was like, hey man, when are you going to make another video? And we started talking about the house and just financial stuff and as a prepping aspect, and I got to thinking about it. Mark was right, and I had to find a camera and the phone and get everything set back up. And I'm basically here just to kind of say, you know, my absence was obviously related to buying a house and all the chaos that goes with it. And I'll probably make a video detailing what I did in the process of the house, the things that I've learned, the things that happen that would be specific to this. This is all the experience that I've got, but I had to get taught a lot about this industry and what goes on and how it goes on by people far more knowledgeable than me. And it was a discussion that I wish somebody had pulled me aside and had with me. So I might make a video and walk through that. Tell you where I made my mistakes, where I made my wins, and walk through that process, because some folks might, like me, would have found that extremely useful, and I probably should have went and looked for it. The second thing that I've been doing is a lot of what we call honest work, and this is after shower. I've spent like the last 2 weeks working on my truck, because now I have a garage. The truck moved me, and I feel that I owe the truck, so I've been spending a lot of time working on it from the point of view of prepping and preparedness, and I might do a series of videos on vehicle maintenance. I'm not a professional mechanic. I am in IT by career, but I have been a mechanic my whole life, and I'm not going to sit here and to walk you through building a 2,000 horsepower drag motor, but I can walk you through some ideas and some thoughts on some basic mechanics, some improvements that anybody can make, and encourage anybody to learn mechanics. I would have been putting more mechanic videos out had I had a shop. Shop's been something that's been absent in my world, and that prevents me from really taking a capability I have and putting it to use. Not having to pay a mechanic is worth its weight in gold, but you're going to have to invest in tools and a shop, or you know, I've done a lifetime of out in the driveway repairs. It was time. But I'm probably going to put some of those out. I do things differently. I share this different viewpoint I've got because it might spawn ideas. Some of the things I say, people, hey, you know, that actually makes a lot of sense. It just needed to be heard in a vocalized way. And I tend to do that. Now, not everything I say makes sense to everybody. We all have different circumstances, viewpoints, and opinions. I am here to simply provide what I do, how I do it, my viewpoints on it, where I see problems in logic. I look at it from a philosophical point of view, a logical point of view, and I share. And this is my way of giving back to YouTube for all the videos that have educated me. I don't ask anybody to rate, subscribe, or share, or watch. I don't have video advertising. I'm not here to get paid. I do this just to give back. I'm not selling t-shirts. I got my own life, and so when I'm busy, I don't make videos, and when things settle down, I actually try to share whatever's going on in my world. Most of my videos, I was cycling through and learning up on prepping in general, and I found a lot of faults with it, because in my IT job, I have to think about disaster recovery. So my mind is actually trained for worst case scenario thinking. What if a hurricane destroys this state and we have to bring everything up somewhere else? What if this fails? What if that fails? What is your plan B? In my field, people look at me and go, if you don't have a plan C and a D, you're disappointing us. And I usually have a plan E and a plan F. My brain is programmed to look for problems. And so when I got to this prepping thing, excuse me, my mind just looked at this as like a natural challenge. And most of the videos that I put out, I point out things that I see wrong with these philosophies. And I think that probably in the next series of videos I've probably been working on, we'll be talking about the monthly bills, house maintenance, house preparation from a prepper point of view, basic household finance from a prepper point of view, putting your garage to work, mechanical tips and tricks, different viewpoints, the things that I'm just going to show you. Here's how my mind and how I go about approaching it, where I see faults with certain things, where I see common sense. I'm going to share with you my mistakes. I'm going to share with you my successes, and let you just kind of get a window into somebody else's world, because that's what I'm going to be doing. I've learned a lot in the last 3 months. More than I care to admit how delinquent I was in some of my basic education on house buying process and some of the things that I observed. So, I am who I am, and I thought I'd just kind of put this video out to kind of say, here's where I'm at now, here's where I was, here's what I did. I have a couple of new life focal changing points that are going to probably change my videos, but in the end, I've kind of covered so many subjects at this point. Unless something causes me to revisit those subjects, I'm not addressing them again. It's redundancy, and I'm not here to see how many videos I can put out. I'm here to put as much as I can into whatever the subject is I'm after on that video. This is one of the few videos I didn't start out with, I think I'm going to call this, because I don't know what this is. This is just, this is like a corporate memo. Hey, I've been on vacation. I'm back. I'm available normal business hours now, blah, blah, blah. So I will start to think, now that my life has slowed down and I can take a few minutes and hold these conversations and work on some subjects that I think are much more practical and useful to a lot of folks, and walk through some of it. The nice thing about these videos is yeah, I got this, dude. You fast forward. I ain't talking about anything important. Close the thing. So what? But for those that might find it interesting, I'm going to put it out there. Gives me something to do in these rare moments of pause, because I've been working 80 hours a week doing my job and then working on the house and working on the cars and all that. And it's finally, I'm getting to the point where I can breathe a little bit. But nothing is achieved without hard work. Anybody that thinks that they can get it easy is a fool. I've paid for a lot of what I'm about to start talking about. And I can talk about the results, I can talk about the costs, and I like to share. So that's what's coming. It's just a matter of my time cycles as to when I actually get these videos out. But for those of you that as I love to say, my 3 people that watch my videos, I'm back. I should be putting out more videos here in the future. And otherwise, thanks. I'll talk at you soon.